That 25% tariff on imports from Canada and Mexico, plus a 20% tariff on Chinese goods, are now in effect.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Amanda Hill here with Brian Yacono. With many of Maine's sectors relying on business with Canada, some are raising concerns regarding the effects of tariffs, especially when it comes to energy. News Center Maine's Caroline LaCour spoke with leaders in Maine's energy sector as they're continuing to understand long-term impacts.
We're still, I think, have a lot more questions than answers.
With a 10% tariff on energy resources from Canada now in place, leaders in Maine's energy sector are bracing for potential ripple effects. Maine Public Utilities Commission Chairman Philip Bartlett says he's still waiting to see if tariffs apply to the electricity coming through the wires.
It's complicated, and it's not been done before in New England, so we are still, I think, trying to figure it out.
Maine shares an electricity grid with New Brunswick, Canada, importing hundreds of thousands of megawatts of energy every year, according to the Maine Office of Energy.
Still a relatively small percentage, and it's not generally driving the price. The price for electricity in the wholesale market most hours is set by natural gas.
Heating oil and gasoline are also set to feel the impacts of tariffs, with 80% of Maine's supply coming from Canada, according to Governor Janet Mills. One major player, Canadian company Irving Oil, is already warning of rising prices.
It's the nature of the market. When you want to drive, when you want to heat your home, you grin and you bear it and you pay the money.
Economics professor Jonathan Rubin says Mainers will likely see a rise in prices as companies pass the cost of tariffs along to consumers. But right now, it's hard to predict what heating costs will look like next winter.
Because we don't really know how long these tariffs are going to last. I mean, as you may recall, they were threatened and then postponed and then imposed.
Rubin says higher costs may drive consumers towards renewable energy sources like wind or solar, but infrastructure investments to provide that energy would take time.
If this builds, it could really make things worse. And, we're a relatively small state. Maine is particularly vulnerable here.
The Maine Energy Marketers Association, which represents fuel dealers in the state, says they're also trying to understand how tariffs will be rolled out and what the effects will be.
So much of this is kind of in flux right now, but certainly, it's a great concern.
ISO New England has submitted an emergency filing with the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission for clarity on energy tariffs. In Portland, Caroline LaCour, News Center, Maine.